Good morning, everybody. Greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I'm your host once again, Dan Thornton. I want to thank you all for tuning in to this Thanksgiving Day morning edition of Lions Talk Live. If you're new to the channel or just checking this out while we're live or on a replay later on, if you haven't yet subscribed, please consider doing so. I want to say we're about 15 subscribers away from hitting 4,600. Sure would like to try to get that today before kickoff. Yes, I'm in coaching mode this week. So you can probably tell my throat is a little rough and my voice isn't the greatest. So hopefully you can all bear with me. It's been a fun 3 days, the start of the season. And you know what? My voice has got to get into shape just like everybody, all the athletes out there. So also, if you could do me a favor, hit that thumbs up and like button. But just so you guys know, normally in Lions Talk Live in the morning shows, we go for about an hour. Today, because the holiday, going to probably keep it to more about 30 minutes. Let everybody get on to their days, do some things, and I got to start getting some stuff ready for family functions, things of that sort. So, all right, let's obviously get into the topics of the day. I'm not going to bother you guys with some of the other stuff that I do in the mornings, but I do want to get over to the comments section because I see we are moving and shaking already. T, what do you got? Greetings and salutations, everybody. Wasn't sure if you're going to have a show today or not. Thanks for doing it, this coach. No problem at all. As long as you guys can bear with my throat and my voice, we'll be okay. Drake, that thumbnail still cracks you up. I'm glad you like it, man. Coach, how much today's game will come down to our defensive line getting to love? I think a great part of it. We all probably know that the Packers are pretty beat up, and other than Jonah Jackson for Detroit, we're pretty healthy right now. So that's a huge advantage. Another advantage, obviously, is that we're at home, a little less travel for everybody because of it. And these are all contributing factors, especially on a short week. The Packers, they had to make a flight over. They had to stay in a hotel, all those things. It may not seem like a whole lot, but just the longer you get into a season, especially on a short week, it just those things add up. And you look at their team, they're significantly beat up, especially at certain key positions. So our defensive line, I get they're going to be gassed. I get our defense is going to be gassed because playing so long in the last game or Sunday against the Bears. But it's part of it. You're going to have to find that inner energy, the Mountain Dew flow, whatever you got to do. You got to get through this game, and then obviously you have a good amount of time off and away even from Detroit if you need to. So I'm hoping that we see aggressive Aaron Glenn, which means he's releasing the hounds, the defensive line, like he did the first time we played the Packers. He's done it from time to time this year, but obviously we've played a lot of mobile quarterbacks, and he is a little bit more conservative against mobile quarterbacks than he is against other quarterbacks. Jordan Love can get out and run, but it's not his primary asset. It's not what he's looking to do. He is capable of it, though. So I think we're going to be going after him because I also think Aaron Glenn is probably aware he cannot allow Green Bay to have, especially early in the game, a bunch of sustained long, 5, 7, 8-minute drives that consume up, 10, 14 plays. His defense just isn't going to hold up that well against that. They're just too gassed and winded from Sunday. But great question. Burrs, good morning, Lions. Faithful and Coach Dan. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Same to you and everybody out there. Happy Thanksgiving. I hope you all have a great time watching the game and obviously being with family and friends. Whatever you're doing, I hope you have a great one. All right, Jeff, what do you got? I think this will be a better game than many think. The one limiting factor will be the Packers are so beat up at running back. They are significantly. I think that helps our defense out coach, ? And good morning. I do think it will make them potentially, as the game goes on, a little bit more one-dimensional. So anytime you can do that, it's just the defensive line gets a significant advantage. Now, we're a little limited because our defensive line hasn't produced a ton this year. But I will say this, the more you can put pressure in this particular game on the Packers offense to have to perform at a higher and higher level. So i.e., if we can build a lead early and continually add to it, that running back group, unless it really outproduces what everybody's probably expectations are for the third and fourth string running back, then yeah, it's going to put a whole lot of weight on Jordan Love's shoulders. It's going to make that offensive line, which hasn't been great for Green Bay, a little bit more predictable in what they're going to have to do. So it also means the defense can tee off a whole lot more. So yeah, I'm thinking if the Packers establish a running game, that's going to help balance them out more. It's really going to come down to, can they run with a lot of their backups against our primary defense, which we all know has been pretty stout against the run this year. If you can do that, the longer the game goes on, as long as you can build a lead, yeah, you're going to put a whole lot of pressure on the Packers offensive line and Jordan Love. So, and Jordan Love, to be fair, has been playing better, which you would expect. You know, he's halfway through his basically rookie season, at least his first real taste of being the starting quarterback in Green Bay. He's showing some signs of improvement and development, which I think we all agree that's what you want. All right, Don, what do you got? Bergs, happy Thanksgiving to you and everyone else. Just heading to the gym before they close. Go Lions. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of places that close up shop probably fairly early in the morning today. So get to your stores, whatever you got to do before they close, right? And then you just kick back and relax and spend some good time with family and friends. All right, Susan, what do you got? Good morning, all. I'll say 34-17. Us. Thoughts, Coach? I think it can definitely have the potential to get away from the Packers. You know, if they have any kind of real miscues, turnovers, Detroit's offense comes out and scores. I'm anticipating some gadget plays today. I am anticipating Goff to bounce back fairly significantly, and I do expect that this offense can put up some points on them. But yeah, if Green Bay comes over and turns the ball over a couple times in the first half, this thing could really snowball on them in a hurry. Again, because their running back game is so beat up. Yeah, that's going to make them very one-dimensional. But happy Thanksgiving to you too. Lance, what do you got? Breakout game by JMO. You thought you were right a few weeks ago, Coach, when you said he was improving. He just keeps doing little things here and there, building confidence, it appears. Yeah, and that's, we talked about at the start of the year. If I was in that coaching room or whatever, the front office with them, that's all you really want is just little bumps of improvement here and there. And as long as you can do that, players over the course of the season improve exponentially. You see it in lots of different areas. They gain confidence, kind of like you're alluding to. He's getting better. He's getting confident in his abilities. You can see the footwork, and I've gone on this a lot. When I watch film on him and then compare it to years prior, you see just dramatic changes, especially while he's been in the NFL. And if you watch like the first week of preseason with him playing, and then his first week of him returning, there's not a huge amount of growth there. Now, you look at his first game that he returned from suspension to where he was last week, you see so many strides with him. And I mean, just in the receiving aspects of his game. The run blocking stuff, I think, has been there for a while. It's just getting better and better. So good points there, Lance. He's got some real potential starting to build with him to break out. And we're starting to see some things here and there. Yeah, he's one of these days, he's going to have a monster game. Mile Marker, what do you got? Happy Thanksgiving. I'm still hoping to sweep the division. This year, we're taking this game. Yeah, I would think there's a high probability we'll get this game today. As far as sweeping the division, who knows, man? If we wrap everything up with the first game against Minnesota where we've just wrapped up the division, we get that win against them, then I think there's a real potential the last game of the regular season against Minnesota, maybe dress rehearsal for the offense and defense and get all the subs in there just to keep them healthy and try to develop some of the other guys a little bit more going into the playoffs. Pat, what do you got? I was wondering if there would be a show. There is. Coach doesn't ever take a day off. No, it's just part of who I am, man. It just, if I'm sitting around all day, it doesn't work well for me. So I enjoy doing this stuff and talking to you guys all the time, by the way. All right, Ryan, happy Turkey Day. First Lions talk, then planes, trains, and automobiles. Then game, then eat. Great day. Yeah, that sounds like a good one. Yeah, and planes, trains, and automobiles. That's a throwback, man, but a great movie. That's a good one. Ryan, this is the one holiday that really is for a guy, this and 4th of July. Yeah, you might have a lot of truth to that. Yeah, it's just, you got a lot of good stuff going on. You don't really, most people don't have a whole lot of responsibilities today. I get there are some people that have to work and cover for everybody else being off. But for the most part, most people are just, this is a day of relaxation and joy. Voltron Force, greetings and salutations all. Happy Turkey Day. Same to you. Hopefully you have a good one. Trump first. It's you might be. Michael, howdy, Dan, Lions faithful. Happy Thanksgiving. Lions win 31-16. Man, you and Who was it? Susan, you guys compared notes. You guys pretty much on the same page. All right, Robert, good morning. Happy Thanksgiving. Go Lions. Same to you, Robert. Have a great one. Panku, not first. I see what you did there. Donkey Kong, Super Bowl or bust. All right, now we got the show going. All right, hopefully you have a good one, buddy. So, Don, what do you got? Greetings and salutations. Detroit 36, Packers 14. Man, you guys all got fairly similar scores. I'm gonna look for this. All right, 9 drinks. Happy Thanksgiving. Go Lions. Same to you. Hopefully you have 9 drinks and just relax and chill out and enjoy the game. Hopefully it's a blowout, man. I would love it if it was 75-3, but I don't think that's going to happen. All right, Ryan, let's get to 9-2. Hopefully Dallas loses and the 49ers Seattle's game will be interesting. Who should we hope for? Seattle does have 4 losses. So I guess in that scenario, I'll be pulling for Seattle just because, keep San Francisco a little bit further away from us record-wise, just so it becomes, a little bit more probable we'll get them at least, if nothing else, the number 2 seed. Dr. D, hand pink waving. All right. Waving at you too, brother. Hopefully you're having a good one. Big M, good morning and happy Thanksgiving, Dan, and everyone in chat. Go Lions, one pride. Good morning to you, Big M, and hopefully you're having a Mountain Dew today. And I know I will be going to the Circle K today to get one. All right, Dr. Trey, happy Turkey Day. Same to you. Robert, who's going to get the Madden turkey leg? Ooh, that's a good question. Man, if I had to do a guess right now, you know what? I'm going to go with the offensive line. I think a lot of the game is going to come down to, how well we dominate there. And if we can open up a bunch of running lanes, if we can establish a run and just pound them and then add in some play action passing, I get that probably won't happen. They won't give out 5 turkey legs, but that's where I'm going to go for now. That's a great question, Robert. Everybody in the chat, let me know who you giving the turkey leg to or turkey legs. Dr. Detroit, firing up the smoker. Yeah, that's about it. So I'll get off the air here in about 20 minutes. I'll go hit the Circle K, and then I got to come back and start making a few things. Mr. Nico, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Love this channel, content, and community. I hope everyone has a good one. No diaper required. One pride. May the dew be with you. Feel the roar. Love you too, Mr. Nico. And again, I hope you have a great Thanksgiving, man. All right, Big M. I haven't heard anything. Is Bruce Irvin active for today? I don't think we'll know for a couple more hours when they have the official announcement. So be about an hour or so before game time. So we'll just say by 11 a.m. we should have the actives and inactives. So, all right, Don Burr has already got one. Turkey leg goes to Alim McNeil. That's a good one. I like that call, man. That would be a good one. Rafi, happy Thanksgiving. 21-6 Lions. Man, we're pulling off the dogs early, but I like the fact we only gave up 6 points. So, Dr. D, I would love that, Don. Let's go. Yeah. Lee McNeil. Man, if he can really just start going on down the stretch into the playoffs, man, that would help out exponentially because you get up front pressure up the middle. That disrupts running lanes, and quarterbacks hate that jazz, man. Somebody coming up straight in their face, yeah, that's tough. So yes, that would be great. Mile, family, friends, food, and Ford Field. Great day every year, but especially when we win. Been 5 years. Yeah, it's been a minute. And I know the Sarge and his family are going over there. There's all my neighbors, they all have season tickets and they're all already over there. I think they all spent the night over there, and they're probably starting tailgating in, I'm guessing, about an hour and a half or so, usually right around 9 o'clock. So that place will be special today. Don D, Dr. D, yes, praying. Good morning, bro. All right, Mr. Nico, how far can Aaron Glenn call defenses? How far can an Aaron Glenn call defense get us in the playoffs? We'll see, man. You guys heard my take. I mean, I think he's definitely improving, and I've said that a ton on this channel. It's just he's still got stuff he's going to need time to develop, and just experience teaches. Obviously certain players helping out more and more would aid in that progression. So it's just, if Bruce Irvin can come in and just give us, like I've said before, 10 to 20 snaps a game and make them all legit snaps where he's being productive out there And now, kind of to your guys' point with Lee McNeil, maybe getting the turkey leg, Hutch gets out there a little bit, and maybe another player steps up because of the extra attention those three are generating. You got some real potential for some guys to step up. Now, as far as just his base schemes, let's give some credit due where it's probably deserved. His defense has won us some games this year. It's looked bad at other times. We all get that, and there's tons of reasons we could overanalyze or underanalyze on the show for a while. But he's serviceable enough. How about that? Would he look better with some better players, especially in the pass rush department? We could probably also say that's also true. So, I'll just say this, Mr. Nico, for now. Do I think we'll make the Super Bowl this year? That would really, I think, be matchup dependent on who we face in each round. That also being said, if the offense does enough to help keep some pressure off the defense to where maybe they don't have to make stops all the time, then maybe it's good enough to go. If we keep staying healthy like this and other teams don't, that will be another contributing factor. So I guess, Mr. Nico, at the end of the day, I just say flip a coin and see where it goes, because that's about as good as I can guess at this point. All right, what do we got? Run against this team and stop Jordan Love from scrambling. Yeah, and that's a good point. Yeah, if we can control the clock, control the game, keep our defense off the field, they're not going to have a ton of gas in those tanks today. I think we can all appreciate that. But if they can keep them off, so when they're out there, what gas they have, they can use and use well. That'd be great. And going with that with Trump, Blitzburg, I really hope, like I said at the start of the show, I hope we're just uber aggressive today. Do everything we can to get the defense off the field and keep Green Bay to short drives. They're going to hit some shots on us, but you know what? I don't think you can realistically ask this defense to go out there and have a ton of 8-minute drives used against them. It's just they're going to fold if you have that happen. All right, Pierce, what do you got? Morning, y'all. About to get ready for work. Is Dillard going today for the Packers? I don't expect to see Aaron Jones either. I don't think either one of them are today. I guess it's nothing official yet, unless I missed it. But I'm guessing, they're both out today. That would be my guess. Mike, what do you got? When I was a Marine Corps drill instructor, losing the voice. Tea and honey. Yeah. It's just part of coaching, man. You get a couple weeks into things. The voice is shot, but after that, it starts, kind of get into the flow of things, and you're all right. But I definitely sound like Rick Ashley a little bit more today. Big M, let's run today. Green Bay has a weak run defense. I think there is a shot for both Montgomery and Gibbs to get close to 100 yards. Your thoughts? There definitely is. Especially Green Bay. If the score gets away from you, you can see, just use the Jets for an example. They're not making the postseason. And you can see every week that fearsome defense. Those guys, it's hard to keep momentum. I get the professionals and everything, but they're not playing as well as they did just even a month ago, because defense is so physical, so hard. You got to punish the body a lot. Not that offenses don't get punished, but you can see where people know basically the outcomes before the game, and you really got to find great ways to motivate as a coach in those situations. Green Bay Packers, obviously if they get out to a lead early today, that's going to fire them up. They're going to want to stick around and try to get a win, because man, they'd almost be 500 at that point. But if we come out early and just really put it on them, you'll probably start seeing a lot of the Green Bay Packer defense, start letting up a little bit just because of human nature. I think you're right, Big M. There's a big chance they could both go off and have big games. All right, Don, what do you got? Dr. D, enjoy this day, man. Kick back, watch ball, eat, and chill. Yeah, it's a great day, isn't it? Mile marker, Pierce Sargent, hope you get some time to enjoy the day. And I thank everyone working today. Yeah, that's a great point, mile marker. And Pierce, hope you have a great day and it's easy free for you at work. All right, Derek, we got Lions 24, Green Bay 17. I'd take that. I think just about every fan would take that. Bears, mile marker 313, life in TV news never stops. And thanks. Well, I hope you have a good one and enjoy it. And I hope you guys at least I hope work does something for you guys to just kind of kick back and relax and celebrate you guys being there. Most of the newspapers and stuff I worked for in the years, if you had to work on a holiday, they usually try to do something for you. So hopefully your place does too. Don, can we get a FBG? Maybe I'm not thinking about what it means, FBG. So help me out, brother. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank. Maybe it's because I haven't had my due yet this morning. Do you think Martin will play? I hope so, man. Because what we've seen of him, I've liked. But there's got to be a reason why they haven't put him in. The new guy has helped out a lot, though, too. But I want to see some pass rush come up that middle. I want to see pressure generated in the quarterback's face. Bergs, hell yeah, Don. Why am I drawing a blank? What FGB means? Football. I think I just got it. Yeah. Frank Green Bay. Yes. All right. I'm sorry, guys. Southwest Lions defense needs to be aggressive to get off the field more quickly. I hope they disguise their blitz as well. Yeah, and that's exactly what I was thinking. Southwest is that you can't ask these guys to dink and dunk against us and keep our guys out on the field that long. They're going to be too tired and winded and beat up from the Bears game. Yeah, my water cools, and of course, yes. Frank's Red Hot Sauce Green Bay, yes. What's love got to do with it? Good one, Don. I like that one. Coach, working in newsrooms before, what these days, yeah, I do know, man. And I've worked for a couple stations, one in the Detroit area, and I used to work for one in the more or less Grand Rapids area. And those are some days, man. But again, usually places would take care of you. So I'm hoping they'll take care of you, Pierce, especially if you're doing any of the backroom stuff or whatever. So I was fortunate, man. I usually just had to, be in a mobile crew and go around and, interview people. So it wasn't usually too stressful. All right, Cloud, and injury report updates for Lions. Any injury report updates for the Lions and Packers? Last I heard, the Packers have close to 13 starters on the injury report. Yeah, they've got a significant amount, Cloud. And I don't think we'll have the official active-inactive list until about 11 a.m. That's about right, usually about an hour or 2 hours before kickoff. Given that kickoff's a little bit earlier than normal today, I'm guessing the time will be moved up, but it'll be later today before we get the official ones. Slame, run the ball. I agree. Kill the clock. Keep your defense off the field. Help keep them fresh. Terry, did you get to see the Tom Brady clip? I did. And, I just didn't think a whole lot of it. I mean, if you're talking about the aspects of the game, things changing, blah, 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 the game does change. All games change. They evolve over time. The football teams or games we see now aren't the same as even in the 90s or even, I guess you could say, the early 2000s. And they're definitely not the same as the 70s and 80s. So, he's got some points, but I'm just not really worried about it, I guess, if that's what you're talking about, at least. Southwest Dan, the Lions would benefit from your input. The intricacies of the game. Just the only thing, and I've said it when these guys got hired, I don't think they're bad picks. It's just they're inexperienced ones. The only thing going for me is, I've coached, this is 34 years in multiple different sports, and there are tendencies or similarities in all sports. And the bulk of my coaching has been in basketball and overseas basketball and stuff like that. College, high school, even the professional levels here in the States. But, coaching football, volleyball, soccer, you just learn to look for certain things. And I'm going to say this, Aaron Glenn, Ben Johnson are going to get better and better with every game they coach. That's just, you got to be pretty bad as a coach if you're not. I also think if you look at their personality types, and let's just focus on those two. They're both pretty driven individuals. They understand they get exposed at times with things, and Ben Johnson probably more this year than he did last year. I just think, man, even you look at MCDC, you look at his first year coaching, some of his decisions last year, especially the start of the year. I think he knew he didn't have a lot of talent, so you make kind of a lot of gambling situations out there with coaching. And he has pulled back on some of that. Now, when he goes for it on fourth down, it is a lot more calculated than it's been in the past, and it's not so consistent. Aaron Glenn, you look at it, what I try to do when I watch coaches, I want to see the adjustments in game, live time, because that's where it's the hardest to do. You either got the answers in here or they're not there. And he is getting better with that stuff. Ben Johnson, I think him and Aaron Glenn are both similar in that they take a little bit longer, which you would expect from less experienced coaches, to get to those, hey, we need to fix this, we need to fix those moments. A lot of times people just stick so much to what they think is right, and sometimes by saying, hey, no, it's just the technique, we got to run the play better or whatever, that you avoid seeing the obvious. And it's happened for me, it will happen to every coach over time. And just the longer these two stick around, I think we'll all see the product on the field improves more and more. But I'm also going to say this, I don't anticipate they'll both be here next year. I hope I'm wrong, because I think the team will be better with them. But I also think they're both going to get some opportunities to go somewhere else. And I've said my piece before on Hank Fraley. If that dude doesn't get a contract offer from multiple different places, I think somebody's really missing the boat on him. I love watching his linemen, even the fifth string linemen, when they come in, you watch their techniques, you watch their foot placement. They are all so similar to each other. That's the result of consistent coaching and somebody who really knows what the heck they're doing. So even if they've got to move guys in and like moving parts, there's not a huge drop off from player A to B to C. So that's a credit to Coach Fraley. All right, Ed, what do you got? Happy Thanksgiving, Coach. Gonna go Lions, run the dang ball. Lions win 35-21. Man, there's a lot of people calling for us to score in the 30s, and I'll take that. Ryan First used to be first reference on MLive Lions articles a few years ago when they allowed comments. Who remembers that? I do remember that. Yeah, because I did work for years for the Kalamazoo Gazette, which was a subsidiary of MLive, and yeah, I can. Man, those comment sections could get nasty sometimes, especially when I would have to cover like courtroom stuff or sports stuff. I mean, the sports stuff could get chippy too, but courtroom stuff, you got people talking about your people's mamas and sisters, and it could get bad, man. But yeah, the first, I do remember that stuff. St. Brown, what do you got? Berg, St. Brown, yeah, he could get the turkey leg for sure. Salim, why is Scott Mitchell whining? He was one of the problems, but not the only one. He's clearly, I guess you could use the phrase, a jilted lover at this point. Things didn't end well here, if you guys remember. Like I said, I think it was yesterday, I did not enjoy interviewing Scott Mitchell when I had an opportunity to after games. He would just remind me so much of Ryan Leaf. And Ryan Leaf came after Mitchell. But yeah, he would have meltdowns sometimes, and sometimes they'd have to wave the newsroom off. They took him out of the locker room because they knew he was having a moment, I guess we could say. So, all right, and I would also say this, going back to the first thing. So I was happy in the bye Barry that they did fit in Tom Killer Kowalski. He's been gone for several years now, but he was the Lions insider and a great guy. If you guys ever got a chance to listen to him on air or in his articles, I mean, the guy lived and breathed Detroit Lions football, and he was beloved by coaches, front office, players. Yeah, when he passed, that was a big loss to the Lions community. All right, let's see. Dr. D line should get after the quarterback with Green Bay injuries to the running backs and the running back. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I know a couple people have said Blitzburg and stuff, but I 100% agree. Put all the weight on the world for Jordan Love to have to play exceptional football as a passer for 4 quarters and get some hits on him, rattle them, bust up those receivers, get in their face. Don't, if you're going to send the house after them, you got everybody on islands, man coverage. You got to hold them, and you got to try to do everything you can to just say, hey, you're not going to dink and dunk us, because, again, I just don't think our defense will hold up well all day long if we ask them to be on the field that long. All right, Bit Lady, happy Thanksgiving Day. I hope the Lions eat ham with loaded potatoes and cheeseheads. Yeah, after the game, I hope they do. Hope they all will probably enjoy some time with their families. Glidden, what do you got? Is there any chance we see Hooker on the field this year, potentially even for the fourth quarter of a blowout? Is it possible? Absolutely. Especially if I think where you're your probable game would be the last game of the regular season. If it has no meaning to us, could I see them just say, hey, Goff, you're not even active today, and let Teddy Bridgewater take the first half, maybe the first 3 quarters, just to get him some reps and, in case needed in the playoffs, and then give Hooker the fourth quarter or the second half. Yeah, that's I think where you get a chance for him to play. All right, Derek, I hope JMO gets 2 D catches today. Man, that would be great, because you think about the Chargers game, I get you had the one called back, and then obviously the Bears game, you got the deep shot. You had a real nice over the middle catch too on the deep end that he caught under some pressure and took a hit. So he is progressing, and I'm all for this kid breaking out, man. That would just add so much to another layer to this offense. Derek, what do you got? Hey, Dan, happy Thanksgiving. Same to you. Do you and to you and yours. Also, same to you, man. Who are the offensive and defensive players that you think will be unexpected standouts today? All right, offensive players, unexpected ones. That's tough, man, because our offense is cooking pretty much at him with all the spots. But let's go with Khalif Raymond. He might not be one of the ones that gets talked about enough. Him or Josh Reynolds, I guess. Let's see if one of those guys can just have a big blowout game. On defense, and I guess let's go with Derek Barnes. They have been, I didn't notice it so much live against the Bears. I do remember a couple snaps where they used him as a edge rusher, but there was, when I watched it, I don't know, a day or two ago, watched it, especially later in the game, they moved him inside on a couple obvious passing downs by the Bears, and he didn't do badly. It's just, I don't think he's going to make his living trying to beat interior offensive linemen with bull rush moves or swim techniques to get past them and inside at the quarterback. But if he could have a breakout game and do something, then that would be really great, because he has evolved and improved. I get there were high expectations from him because he played so well in the preseason as a rookie, and then obviously he was very good in college. But most players don't stand out the rookie or season. They take time to develop. And Derek Barnes' case, I think he is developing quite nicely. It's just, obviously we live in a now society. Everybody wants you're drafted, you're all pro day one. And that just doesn't happen to most people. All right. Got a few more here, and then my voice is about shot, I think. This is my one day to rest it today. Glendon, I would like to see the same thing. Yeah, Salim, I agree with that. Pierce, turkey leg today, multiple touchdown day from JMO. I'll go with that, Pierce. Southwest, Bahama, picked him from Dallas, played well versus Bears, big guy, interior run stuffer. And I'll say this to you guys. If he really pans out, and I don't know the kid's name, but what do you guys think about this? You'll have to Google it, because I don't remember his name offhand, and I really should look it up so I can memorize it, but I just haven't spent a lot of time on the draft stuff yet. There is a kid at Florida State who's legitimately like 400, maybe 430 pounds, and the dude's athletic. He can move. Bahamas, I want to say he's 340, 350, and he's not slow by any means either. Pair those two up next year. You might not be able to get the most pass rush, but you're probably not running up the middle with the greatest of ease against the Detroit Lions if that happens. And now really invest in that opposite edge of Hutchinson. And then you got Lee McNeil, who will still be a starter. But man, that'd be a pretty good defensive line, I would think, at least. But you get free time today, check that kid out. All right, Dr. D, I get some complaints about this team, but the AG one puzzles me. It is what it is, man. Everybody wants everybody to, shut out, get shutouts all the time. And, I get it. Once you get in, anything can happen. Yes, anything can. And it often does. Willard JMO will get his first 100-yard game. It would be a great game for him, man, because, again, the trend's your friend, I find more often in life, and he is trending upwards easily. Don, the Southwest Lineman, totally agree. He played well. He did. 100%. Dr. D, that would be sweet. 9 Drinks, does Bugs ball out today? Bug out. I just want to see this. You guys saw my piece on here, whatever it was, a week or so ago, about the AG and Bugs disagreement. This will be a big tell today. If Bugs isn't active, that probably tells you where they're thinking he's going to be the rest of the year. Maybe he works his way back up, but Bugs, his career in Detroit is hanging on by a thread. If he's not active today, I would say maybe somebody gets hurt, he's reactive, but I don't know. I like Bugs from what I know of him. I don't know him personally, but obviously him and the coaching staff have had some disagreements this season. All right, a couple more here. Dr. D, I hope Bugs is so pissed off. He is an uber aggressive. Yeah, I would love that too, man, because I like aggressive players. I do not like passive players at all. And part of the reason why my voice is so beat up, obviously I'm coaching and everything. First 2 days, man, let me tell you, those were tough days on the athletes. Yesterday, you could tell they were physically spent. And I kind of called him out on it. Wasn't trying to be mean, wasn't trying to be rude or anything. But the last, whatever it was, 20 minutes, I was like, nah, you got to find a way to fight through that, because part of fatiguing somebody, obviously you're trying to get them ready, game shape and all that stuff. The other part is you're going to be tired throughout the season. You've got to learn mentally, and it's tough, especially if you're talking, less experienced athletes. It is tough to get your body to work at a high level because you're tired, because your muscles are shot, beat up, and fatigued. But you mentally have got to have the wherewithal to say, no, I'm going to power my body through it. Because if you want to really be successful, that's where most teams get divided real quick. Can you still force yourself to play at a high level when your body is telling you absolutely not? I got nothing left to give. And that's tough, man. That's tough. All right. What do you got? Sorry, Kibzu Ninja. Good morning, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. Let's go Lions. Same to you. Hopefully you have a great one. Don Berg, can another defensive end besides Hutch do something? Anything? Geez. That's what we're all waiting on, man. Some kind of consistency opposite Hutch. And you've heard my part on it. Hutch is getting worn down. You're going to have to get snaps off his body to try to get him fresh again for the playoffs. Derek, don't think it would be prudent of Goff to sign a less. Don't you think it would be prudent for Goff to sign for less money and leave enough to pay the O-line and others, win the Super Bowl, and make even more money from all the commercial offers that will get offered? I would take Derek, to your point, I would take a page out of Tom Brady's, what he did, I guess, especially as his career advanced. At some point, I mean, what do you want to be? Do you want to be the highest paid dude, or do you want the one that has the best chances to win a Super Bowl? And you've seen other people like Patrick Mahomes. I get he got paid a mammoth contract. He's also given back some of that because he understands he can't do it on his own. That's where I think Goff is going to have to, sit down with his wife and his family and make a choice. What's enough for us? And I get, okay, Brady makes money from other spots, same with Mahomes and stuff. To your point, am I willing to shave off $10 million a year because I know I can make it up on a few commercials? And let's be honest, if you ever been on a set for a production, shooting a couple of commercials is usually only a couple hours out of your day, maybe 2 days at the most. So, to your point, if I'm him, which I'm not, I'm 28. I'm going to be 29 when this contract expires. What's going to be enough? Am I okay with just taking $40 million a year versus $50 million, knowing that the team can use that money, like you're saying, on other spots? Dr. D, right. That's my complaint. Okay. Bet Lady, 3 games in 10 days. Yes. If we go 3-0, that is a great accomplishment, no matter the foe. The guys have been tired on the field and need healing. Yeah. And that's kind of my point is I'm sure, especially that D, they're spent. They don't have much left. You're going to have to get those guys to force their bodies to do things those bodies don't want to do. Don, win this game. We have 10 days off to the next game. Jonah Jackson can heal up and play one game, then goes out again. Yeah. And man, you feel bad for the dude because he has played well in Detroit, and I get his contract year. So these injuries are popping up at the worst possible time ever. But let's hope he comes back and does well. Yes, I've unlocked the code for the FGB. Yes. Thanks for that, Donkey Kong, though. Detroit do win this game. Yes, I see what you did there, Derek. Yes, a lot of anti Green Bay fandom here. Well, it seems to be a common theme here. All right, Brian, will Hutch get a few sacks with today's game? I feel he needs at least 3 today. Brian, I would say this for the defense in general. This is a great setup potentially to get a bunch of sacks. just because Green Bay's running game should be fairly limited. If Detroit's offense can come out and really put pressure on Green Bay and make them very one-dimensional, especially in the second half, then yeah, you're going to see a couple people have an opportunity to pad their stats a little bit. Hutch gets a couple sacks today, then hey, he's doing well. And I get, what is it, after the Chicago game, he became the first player in NFL history to have whatever it was, 15 sacks in 2 seasons and whatever it was, like 4 picks. So I mean, he's, while not having the monster year that probably a lot of us expected him to have, a lot of that is because of the offensive schemes against him. With that also being said, he did get a lot of single block coverage against Chicago, and just he looks worn down to me, but I hope he can rejuvenate and get us going again. All right. Southwest, I noticed Vikings D line up to 7 at line of scrimmage, but varies how many of them rush. Good disguise by Flores. Yeah. And you guys heard me talk about that, but before, I'm an aggressive coach. I'm going to get in your face all day. You're going to hit some plays against us. We're going to hit you also a couple times because of it. Anything you can do to confuse, especially, younger or older quarterbacks, I think you need to do it. It's just because so many rules nowadays favor the offense. You've got to try to offset that as best you can. One of the things I know Tom Brady was commenting on is just, some of the ticky-tack calls they now make, especially on downfield passes. So if you're going to get hit with that anyways, you got to get hits to disrupt the offensive quarterback and, the receivers, things like that. So I would go with a bear front more often than not. And that means, 5 to 7 guys at the line of scrimmage. 5 people typically are defensive linemen. I guess you could say, so you could have some backers out wide, because basically most of those guys are pseudo defensive ends anyways, and then have 1 safety high, another safety up at the line, along with a linebacker. So you got coverage ability with your safety, assuming your safety can cover, and you're leaving your corners on an island. The advantage to the corners are, since they're more than likely up in press coverage, there's very few routes the offense can effectively run against you. So you're eliminating the majority of their play routes, their tree progression and things of that sort. The other advantage for the cornerback is I know where I can position my body and where I can't. I'm going to take away inside leverage. So basically, you're not going to allow any releases over the middle of the field. You're going to force every pass basically down the sideline. That also aids your single high safety, because now they can basically just backpedal and look for sideline coverage. Try to read the quarterback in essence, which sideline he's going to cheat to, so they know which side to cheat towards on a release. The other part is, like you're pointing out, Southwest, you confuse blocking assignments. And if one person guesses wrong on that blocking assignment, somebody's going to probably get a free pass at that quarterback. The other part is, since they don't always go after the quarterback, if the quarterbacks do try to cheat and throw like a quick slant or something, a quick release pass, if somebody is not blitzing and now drops in that lane, you're throwing it right at that person. So anything you can do to create pressure and force quarterbacks to think under duress and get that emotional component, the clock to fire faster than it wants to, now you get a better chance for people to make mistakes. I had to catch myself there. And that's where you get turnovers. Most of the time, effective offenses are going to go down and score, half the time. Can you take that 50% win rate from them and get it down to 35, 30%? Because if you can do that, you're getting turnovers, you're stopping the offense, you're still giving up some scores, but you're putting more and more pressure on them. And most people just don't do well under pressure. Terry, going to the game today, first time on Thanksgiving. Hope you enjoy it, man. Big M, are you cooking the turkey today? I am not. One of my sisters is cooking the turkey today. I'm just making some other stuff for it. Don, I think we get at least 3 sacks today. I would agree. I'm hoping for 5 to 8. That's a hope, though. Trump, they need to play that defense end they signed that was supposed to be great shape. Yeah, Irvin, you would think it's about time, right, for him to get out there, if he's going to get out there. Southwest Love is playing better, and like Fields is a reason to be motivated and play well. Yeah, he's playing for his career too, so you're 1,000% right on there. 9 Drinks, I want to see an 8-legged turkey today. You might get it, man. Willard, Rich Eisen said, Rich Eisen just put the Lions at number 5 in his power rankings. What the heck? My top 5 is 1 Philly, 2 Detroit, 3 San Fran, 4 KC, 5 Dallas. everybody's, I think where you get to the top 5 or 10, for the most part, you're splitting hairs because they're all capable teams in most years. Frank, I would give a Hank Fraley a blank check. Yeah. And it is my opinion, man. I think that dude is damn good at coaching. Uh, Lions, what do you got? Quicker in-game adjustments is a sign of excellent coaching. I would agree with that. Lions would need that to have a chance to beat the top teams. Yeah, because I want to say this: the Lions have some very good talent, especially on offense. The defense has some good talent, and you guys heard me say it before, just not elite talent in most spots. And you're going to have to augment that by trying to force teams to move fast and they want to go offensively when they're playing against you. At least that would be my philosophy. Fletch, hey, hope you have a good Thanksgiving, Fletch. 34-17. Again, man, similar scores here for the most part. Well, the 9 drink says, man, Green Bay's only going to get 3. I think we'd all take that. Brian, I want a blowout win today. Go Lions. Yeah, I think most people want to. Ooh, Dr. D, he's going to be the Grinch in the room. Says we're going to only win by 4, 31-27. Leonard is Shaquille Leonard, a possibility and hopeful and helpful. Happy Thanksgiving. All go Lions. The only question I got with that, Leonard, is just that, who's he going to replace in the linebacker room? Rodrigo, I say, even though he's a backup, his position's safe because he's now also fullback and special teams. So he affects all 3 phases of the game. So who do you get at, it to sign him? Who do you put down? And unless he's really proficient at also being a defensive end and get after the quarterback, I just think you're kind of limited there. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he has value. After last game, look for them to run the ball. Yeah, I agree with that. Trumps. All right, a couple more here. I think Lions activate Irvin for Saints game. That would be a good one. Yeah, because he would have been here significantly amount of time there. Ed, Detroit versus GG record is Detroit 37-44-2 versus Green Bay. Yeah, I know we're making up some ground in recent years. Trump 24-13. He'll take it. I don't see a big JMO game today, depending on who is healthy today for the Packers. My crystal ball says run the ball a lot. Yeah, I think you would be correct there where you should get a lot of that. Coach, I know a 14-year-old that is 6'8" and, wow, 380 pounds. Well, might want to get that person a contract early or an agent. Yeah, I might have to take a peek at that one. Frank, happy Thanksgiving Day all. Same to you. Lions 70, Packers 0. We'll take that one. Dan, power through the whole hour. Yes, I'm going a lot farther than I thought I would today. I might have to. DJ D James, what do you got? Happy Thanksgiving to you, fam, and chat. 34-17. T legs for all Lions. Thank you. Turkey legs for all Lions. Hope you have a great day too, man. Enjoy it with your time with whomever you're spending it with. Trump, they should sit Hutch for a game. We need him for the stretch. Yeah, I'm hoping we get to that last game of the regular season, and yeah, you could just sit a lot of people. And if you happen to have the number 1 seed, then man, they got 2 weeks to rest up, and that's an eternity in the NFL. The only worry I have with that is just simply that when they come back in 2 weeks, those bodies got to get used to getting hit again, and that does take some time. Dr. D, we will have 10 days off after day. Correct, we will. John, how about 2 picks today? That'd be great. That would be great because, again, you get turnovers, keep the defense off the field, hopefully give the offense a short field as well. Frank, Mountain Dew and ibuprofen works for me. Might have to try it, man. Southwest, I think Brad Holmes should try to sign Goff and St. Brown at around the same time if they want to be win a Super Bowl. It needs to be for less than top dollars so they keep other players. Yeah, everybody's going to have to contribute, especially Goff. Jerome, good morning, Coach. I wish you could be a part of the Lions staff. You're the best. I don't know about that, man. Don't discredit them, man. I'm aggressive. Any sport I ever coach, yeah. The one commonality is just my personality. We're going to be aggressive. We're going to try to intimidate the other team. We're going to go 85 bears on you all the time. And you can beat it, great. If not, we're going to beat you down. Frank, what do you got? Hutch also has 2 forced fumbles and 4 fumble recovers. That is correct. Yes, he's had a pretty damn good start to his career. All right, I'm going to give you guys about 50 more seconds here. Trump's Devin Funches is a piece of garbage for that. It was a real cheap shot that we did on Hutch. And I think it's probably one of the factors why Hutch has been less effective. I mean, I get it will heal over time. Thankfully, it wasn't a serious injury, but I do think it's had an accumulative effect of that with all the snaps he's getting. All right, Willard, how many points will Goff shave today? Oh boy, here we go. Hey, coach, who is AG talking to on his headset? Usually Dan Campbell and some of the other positional coaches. They could have a guy up in the basically the press box to have other eyes on different specific adjustments the offense is doing and relays that down to AG. Some coordinators like to be up in the box because you do have a much different view up there than you do on the sideline. Some of the guys love to be on the sideline. So he's probably talking to a multitude of different people like they all are. So it's not just one or two people. But I tell you, MCDC gets on, everybody's got to shut down because that's the head coach. All right. Leonard's best days are behind him. That's why Colts cut him. It could be Southwest. Yeah, I just don't know enough about him because, again, like I've said in the past, since he doesn't play for the Lions, I don't pay or even in the NFC North, I don't pay a ton of attention to him. Frank, hopefully the mini buy helps Hutch. Hopefully it helps my voice. Phil, greetings and salutations. Same to you, man. Hope you have a great Thanksgiving, brother. Joe, I'm convinced Dan Campbell is related to Chuck Norris. He might be. All right, Big M. Have a blessed day, everybody, and you too. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get going. Hope you all have a great day with your friends and family. Enjoy the Thanksgiving. Enjoy all the football games. Maybe go out and have a Mountain Dew. Do whatever you got to do, but I hope you all have a great one. I don't really anticipate there'll be any breaking news today, but if it should happen, I'll try to get on the mic for you guys. Otherwise, I'll see you guys all on the next Lions Talk Live. I'm not 100% sure if I'll have a post-game show. Just depends on if I stick around for all of it with family. If I do, then probably can't do one at least till later in the day. But if everybody takes off a little early and I come back to the house, then I'll try to get one on. All right. See you guys all later on the next Lions Talk Live.